Switch on my side, I take any lane. Switch on my car, back kill any pain. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy.
Hey guys, welcome to Self-Made. It's your host Andres.
It's the one and only Nash.
I don't know Zakim.
And today's topic we're talking about double standards. Who wants to take the lead on this one?
I'll take the lead to discuss the topic as to how far we're going along with it. It's basically what guys can do versus what girls can't do, vice versa. And it's why is there an issue with that versus it just being equal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't really talk about that because there's one thing when it comes to let's say if you're in a household and everything, right? You got you and your partner, or if you have a roommate, you guys are working together, saving up money, towards a place or whatever. It doesn't matter. And one person's, you're basically saying that, oh, you're supposed to do the dishes because you're a woman, or you're supposed to cook because you're a woman. But as a man, you can do that as well. So if you don't know how to cook, I get that. I understand. But if you have knowledge of how to cook and how to clean, and you just want to come home and not do anything, then it's just basically saying that you don't want to do nothing, and you just stereotypically saying that, hey, a woman is supposed to be the caretaker for a home and a man is supposed to be the provider, when it can work both ways, because some people don't have both parents in their lives, right?
Right.
Exactly. So it goes hand in hand, but it's a big conversation that no one wants to talk about.
I think people talk about it, but
It's talked about but not addressed as much anymore.
yeah, because
Everyone's in it for the clout, or I did this for my man, or I did this for my gal, so why are they expecting me to do this and do that? And I can do whatever I want because I feel like it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to say that that's how most people are, but generalize, that's how it is.
Okay, what's a double standard that you have experienced?
For me, if it comes to if I'm cleaning up something and I have a group with me, there'll be one person of the group that'll be yeah, I'm gonna clean this and you do everything else. It's the same thing that goes for work. When you're working on a job, you'll ask one person to do something and a whole next group won't do it because they don't want to do it, but then you end up doing all the work.
Mm.
And it's
Have
just
you-
why are you doing most of the work when it's not even I don't know, man. I'm not trying to get into it. I'm getting heated. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Are you getting heated already?
Bro, because
what about give me a relationship one.
a relationship one, when it comes to relationships, I'd probably say when it comes to going out, or not necessarily splitting the bill, but if you're the one that's going out on dates and stuff like that, and you're the one that's pitching for the meals, when you take her out, you have to pay for the meal, versus you guys splitting it in half, or say, hey, I'm gonna pay today for dinner and then you pay for lunch or whatever tomorrow. But every time you go out, you're the one that's paying because you're the man and you're supposed to pay. Or even
No
for
one's
the
supposed to
first
do
date,
anything.
the first date, the guy is supposed to pay. That is also
No,
a topic.
no.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a topic.
You get it mixed up.
Yeah, I know
So
I'm getting mixed up at the same time, but nah, I
okay,
I registered a topic in my head. My bad.
okay. This is how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think because you're a man you're supposed to pay on the first date. I feel this is how whoever initiated the date pays.
Whoever asked that person out.
Yep.
See, I think going back to what Naz was talking about, one day you do this, one day you do that. I feel personally, I don't like that because it's you're keeping track, you're keeping counts, and you're keeping a tab on that person. It's okay, well, today I'm doing this, so that automatically means that she has to do that tomorrow. I don't agree with that. I feel like you shouldn't keep tabs on what it is that you do versus what it is that she does. I feel like it's one of those things that you do it sometimes, she does it sometimes, and that's it. Like you don't talk about it like, oh, like in the sense of like, okay, because I paid today, that means you gotta pay tomorrow. No, like I don't think that's okay. I think you should just do it just because you want to. Like, hey, like I'm going with my girl just because I paid last time. It doesn't mean that she has to pay this time. Because that, to me personally, I don't think that's the way it should be. I think you should just not keep tabs and just do what like basically what
Okay,
you guys feel like.
okay, but here's my question though. But like, you're going out with your partner or whoever you're talking to, right? And you're the one that's paying. Won't you get annoyed or irritated that you're the one that's always working out your money when it's both of you
Well,
going?
no, I understand what you're
No, it's a
saying.
yes or no question.
Are you no, sir?
It,
No, no question is a yes or no question because you gotta be able to back up your answer.
yeah, so then if you say
So
no, then I'd be like, okay, then why? If you say yes, then I'll be like, okay, then why? Back
no,
up
I
answer,
feel
bro.
like that's not the way it should be. Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, it's not fair for you to be the one that is always paying. That part I agree with. But it's also nobody should be forced to, oh, because I got it this time, you gotta get it next time. Like, okay, for example, I feel like that should be something that the girl already feels without you having to bring it up. Is what I mean. Like, for example, you go out with your partner, right?
Hmm.
And you take her out on a Saturday, whatever, and then whatever you guys go out on a Sunday, she just automatically should just be like, okay, well, it's about being equal, right? So I'm gonna get it this time without you having to tell her, yo, I got it last time, it's now your turn to get it. Because then it just becomes like an argument.
Yeah, but it should never really even be coming into an argument because it should already be known that, hey, if you see your partner doing the most for you, then hey, I'll pay a couple times, right? But some people are not like that. Some people just like to be spoiled and just sit back and just watch you pay for everything.
That
Well,
is true.
that's the wrong kind of crew then. That's also somebody that you shouldn't be with.
But then how are you supposed to know that if
I mean,
you know,
sometimes you can't blame those people. I feel like,
because that's how they grew up, depending on their
and
household.
maybe their dad or someone say, okay, a guy's supposed to do this, a guy's supposed to, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Or maybe it doesn't have to come from a father. Maybe it comes from a mother or a sister, or just maybe friends feeling like, oh, every time they want to be like their friends. Like every time they go out, they just be like, oh, he pays, so.
Exactly, because when you go out with your girlfriends or whatever, right? The girls will be talking about, yo, I had this man, he paid for everything. I never pay for anything at all. And that's the same mentality that they expect for their man to give them as well, even though
Alright,
they've never had that.
okay, let me ask you this.
Mm.
Do you think it changes? So that's just a regular relationship. Let's say a couple is married. Do you think it changes?
If you're married, no, um it all depends. Because like are you married like just you two or is it married and children?
No, just it doesn't matter if it's children or not.
Mm. Well, um
I think it changes to where
it
it's a combined income at that point.
yeah,
So if
it
you
is
lose money,
combined, but
so whoever spends is automatically somehow gonna be burning into. If you end up not having money,
mm,
who's it gonna affect in the long run as well?
yeah. It's gonna affect both parties. That is true and it's understandable. But at the same time, there should just be some not groundbreaking rules, but something to like. I don't know, man. I don't have the word for it.
So Nash, when you go out, do you always pay?
Usually, yeah, but if I don't have it, then no, I don't pay.
Oh, so Andres, when you don't
But
have it, do you still go out?
I don't like going out when I don't have anything. But then I still like find the money somewhere somehow if I have to work extra just to make do.
Credit card, I like.
Yeah, fam, it's not easy. We ain't getting into that.
Oh my god, damn.
Yeah.
So Andres, do you go out if you don't have it?
I'm like Nash, to be honest. Like, if I don't have it, I
Like
get it.
it shouldn't have to be though. It shouldn't have to be like that though.
But also, when I do go out, sometimes like
It depends.
for example, like if it's like McDonald's or something like that, like that's whatever. But like if we're going to like a restaurant, like I'm in a relationship that both of us chip in anyways. So I'm comfortable when it comes to like those type of things because like if I don't have it, I don't have it. I also have to get to that point that it's like if you're with somebody, you should be able to be honest with them and be open about the fact that you're like right now money's tight, like for whatever reason, whether that's because you're between jobs or you're saving or whatever the case may be. If you're with somebody and you're not able to tell them straight up like yo, like right now things are not okay, and you're always expected to like impress them and always expect to like pay for it, then I think you're in the wrong relationship. I'm
But
in
hold
one
on,
that
hold on. I have a question. So
mm,
like, once you set that standard, do you think that you're supposed to uphold that standard?
was
From like,
standard.
so like, let's say from like the first date, right? You paid for the meal,
Hmm.
right? And then second and third, you paid, right? Would you think that once you guys start dating, that you'd have to upkeep that same energy with
No, I
like
don't think that
no?
because I think it falls into what Akeem was saying. Like for example, if I ask the person out, right? I'm asking you out. I'm gonna take you out. So it's already known to me personally that if I'm the one asking her out, that for the first couple of days, I'm gonna be the one paying because I'm the one that actually is trying to initiate something. Now when we become like we become a couple and we have that title, then I think the responsibility falls into both of us to be able to do things for each other without having to be like, oh well, he did this month, he took me out like whatever 4 times, and I did it 3 times. I don't do that, and I don't believe in that. I don't feel like you should keep tabs, but I do feel like you should be in a relationship where you are treating each other fairly and respectfully to the point that if you're making the effort to do something for her, whatever the case may be, whether it is you taking her out or you just whatever, like doing something cute for her, then I think it's also it should be done for you as well. Like it's one of those things that if you're treating her like a queen, you should be able to be treated like a king. That's how I feel.
Hey, all right, Andres with the bars.
So what if she doesn't know how?
It's not about knowing how, man, because I don't know how to. I wasn't raised in an environment where I was taught how to treat a girl. Like it's one of those things that
Well, it's
you
not
learn over
really.
time.
Well, maybe not how to treat a girl, but you know how to treat your mom. So
Yeah, but it's one of those things that it's like respectful, like respect matters and all that stuff. Yeah, that obviously is some stuff that you're being brought up in that environment. But like in terms of like a girlfriend, you learn as you go. You learn how to treat somebody with respect and like with love. And if you're giving somebody that type of energy and you're giving her like your time and your all, then it's only right that she does the same thing for you. And that's something that's gonna come naturally. It's not something that's gonna come with like lessons. Like maybe one time she notices that she's not putting the same effort that you are, and you talk about it in a respectful manner. Maybe she'll be like, okay, yeah, like you're right. Like I should have done better. I'm sorry, and boom, you fix it and you move forward as a couple.
Mhm.
That's just what I think. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to add?
Nah, like, nah. Yo, man, nah, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got shit.
oh my god, it seemed like Andre shut this man up.
I don't like talking about.
Oh, that's what we do here. We leave people speechless. All right, now we move on. Before we wrap up today's episode, we wanted to incorporate a new segment where we each episode we ask one of our members, well, one of our hosts, I mean, a question, and we have to answer truthfully. So I guess Nash is in the hot seat for today. So Akeem, do you want to take the first question?
Dickheads. You guys are dickheads. What
Akeem,
is the
Alright,
question, bro?
alright, Nishan.
Yes.
Hmm.
Let's hear the question, fam. Why you take it so long?
I go into
W-
suspense.
where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years?
Hmm.
Uh, in 5 years, I hope to have a place of my own. In my career, financially stable, financially independent, and working towards my future goals that I don't have set yet now, but in due time, we'll see how that goes. And maybe I don't know, pursue writing a little bit more serious and see where that goes and takes me. But for the most part, right now, it's just focusing on the career. Writing is something that's to the side, but not really anymore. And yeah, that's about it.
Alright, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my question now.
Yeah, what's your question?
since Akeem talked about the future, maybe I'll talk a little bit before. What in the past 6 months, actually a little more, in the past year, what has
Yes.
been, since we're approaching the end of the year, what has been your biggest regret?
I don't live life with regrets. I live life with mistakes.
Okay,
And I,
your biggest mistake.
biggest mistake. Oh my god, bro. This guy's actually doing this to me right now.
If
Uh,
you don't want to answer, it's okay. We don't have to answer.
Remember, truthfully.
yeah, exactly. My biggest
It doesn't
mistake.
have to be too personal. It can be
I
about
know.
school, whatnot.
Nah.
Oh, you said
You
no.
said you
I
said
was
the biggest. So it
the
has to be the
biggest.
biggest.
Yeah.
Well,
For me,
only Nats can classify what is the biggest. So
pause. Anyways, for me, like the biggest mistake is like being with someone and talking to someone for so long and not being able to tell them how what's going on, whatever, and being able to just tell them how you feel, how I felt, regardless of the situation, and kind of just messed up. I'm not gonna go into detail, but that's about it. I feel like things could have been better and that it shouldn't have happened that way, but it's my fault, my mistake. Can't take it back. Just learn from the mistake. It's not a regret because living with regret, that's something else. That's something that you can't really not. I don't live with. I don't live with regret. It's a mistake. You learn from your mistake and you move forward. And if you can correct your mistake, then correct it. But if you cannot, then you just have to live with it until you can prove yourself that you are not that person anymore.
that's right.
All right, sir.
And with that being said, that pretty much wraps up today's episode. We wanted to take this opportunity to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Happy holidays. Yep, yep.
and and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
All
It's
right,
been your
yo.
host Andres,
It's still on No Yanash.
You don't know it's Akeem.
and we'll see you guys soon.